Good afternoon. My name is Erasmus from Innovawood, and joining me today is Patricia Zaton from Innovawood and Maria Gifrida from Trust IT. And we will be presenting speakers along the way. And we will start just in a minute. For today's webinar, we've got a very interesting topic to discuss. We'll be talking today about the bionic companies and bionic transformation. And we will learn what they are and what they do to stay ahead on the market. And also to help you on this journey. In the project GIST, we have prepared for you an e-learning course that we'll talk about today. The name of the course is Facilitator of Bionic Transformation. Welcome for the ones who are joining us. My name is Radmila Usic from Innovawood, and I think it's time to start. Now, let me quickly lead you through today's program. We will take about 30 minutes or so talking about bionic companies and bionic transformation and about the e-learning course Facilitator for Bionic Transformation, prepared for you by the project founded by European Union. The name of the project is GIST, and it's about unlocking the power for bionic transformation for companies, middle and small companies, especially focusing on the furniture and food sectors. Then we'll take another 20 minutes, and Maria Gifrida from Trust IT will share with us the best practices and solutions for the new European warehouse ecosystem. And then hope to hear back from you and to have a lovely discussion and to hear back how this course is useful for you. Now, that was a quick overview of the agenda. And before we go, a few housekeeping things. First of all, we want today's meeting to be as interactive as possible. So please jump into the chat if you have any questions, and we will make sure to provide you the best possible answer towards the end of the meeting. Secondly, this meeting is going to be recorded. So if by any chance you will not be able to stay with us throughout the next 2 hours, don't worry, we'll send the recording to you. Now, that was all about the housekeeping, and we are ready to start. Hello again, and my name is Radmila Usic, and I'm representing Innovawood. Innovawood is based in Belgium, and that is a major European network for good science, technology, and education. It has almost 70 members from around 30 companies, all countries all around Europe. Many of our members are active in the field of research, education, training, knowledge transfer in the entire value chain of forestry, wood processing and furniture, and to the construction and bioeconomy. We support our members in promoting wider impact from use of wood, which is Europe's most renewable raw material. And we are also supporting our members in their dissemination of their scientific results and wider reach out. I'll introduce the speakers as we go along. And we will be focusing today on the bionic companies and on the bionic era and on the bionic transformation. Now, before we start, I would like to hear back from you. How do you understand what is bionic? So what is bionic company to you? And with that, I'll stop and hand over to my colleague, Patricia. And we want to ask you to answer one small, simple question with one word or one phrase we would like to hear from you what is to you Bionic company. And then we'll start off from here. So here's, you probably all know very well, dementi.com. Please use this code. Go to menti.com and enter the code. Yeah, Patricia, is that correct?
Yes, it is very correct, Radmila. Thank you for introducing me. And you should see my screen. Hopefully you can see my screen with the menti.com, the website link and the entering code. So please now type menti.com and then please type the code you can see on my screen. We prepared one question for you. Yes.
Once we type in the code, what happens?
Once you type the code, I will be waiting for you 1 more minute and I will be switching slide. We prepared for you one question and we will be willing to know your answer for this question. So please be patient for 1 more minute. I see already 7 participants, so it's 8. Yes, it is growing. So one moment, please, and we will be doing some brainstorming, but only one question, so please don't be worried. Okay, now 13 of us, very nice. Radmila, your permission to go to our
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so I have changed the slide. You should also see it. The question is, what is Bionic company to you? What does it mean to you?
Please write anything that comes to your mind, any association. I'm just curious to see, what you think. Because, Bionic, it sounds futuristic. So let's check where we are.
Yes. You have unlimited number of attempts, so please type anything that comes to your mind. For now, we have few answers. It's technology, robots, human, maybe something else on your mind. Please share it with us. What is a Bionic company to you?
Okay, well, the results are coming in. Oh, the future of the world. Okay, it's very enthusiastic. Industry 4.0, I suppose. Great digital innovation. All right. Without further ado, we are looking at something very new and the future of the world. Continuous improvement, even better and better. And human, I see one word, human. Well, I focus on that because I'd like to talk to you further on. I'm sharing back the screen, so I think we can,
Okay, thank you.
We can stop here. Because it's for many of us, bionic transformation does sound very futuristic. And I would like to claim, and we will talk about it today, that it's only one piece of the puzzle. And in our project, the GIST project, our approach to bionic companies is an approach that we think that becoming bionic is to strengthen the technological aspects, which already many of you have mentioned, but also the human skills, the creativity, the leadership skills, and that help us to achieve more productive operations and greater innovation. So the objective of the GIST project is to develop and implement the innovative training material for companies to provide them the basic competences to become bionic and reach the bionic status. Now, 2 years have passed since 6 partner organizations embarked on this common journey dedicated to developing of the e-learning course. We have been particularly focused on the furniture and wood companies and their transformation in the digital age. Why? Because this is a special sector which is traditionally viewed as the sector that relies on handcrafted or manufacturing processes. However, in the last years, the sector has embraced technologies and the companies have to keep up with this transformation and to have their people with the skills that they might probably have not had before. And that is why, as I said, 6 companies led by the Karlsruhe Institute for Technology, the project coordinator, together with a number of wooden furniture associations, networks, vocational and educational training schools, have joined together, among them the CITEM from Spain, Global Net Learning Solutions from Poland, IRMO, the Institute for Development and International Relations from Croatia, Innovawood from Belgium, and Styrian Technology Park from Slovenia. What we have done throughout the 2 years, our 3 major results have been focusing, first of all, on we have looked at what knowledge, skills, and qualifications are needed for the digital transformation. And as a result, we've came up with a curriculum that fills the gaps that we have identified. We have, you see on the slides, we've come up with the 18 learning units, and I will go one by one about them. And finally, we've put all that we have collected into the collaborative platform and the e-learning platform, which is multi-language, provide the training contents in various forms, and we made sure that it's also interesting to learn. Now, we are offering a free online training course that can turn you into a facilitator of Bionic Transformation. And it only takes 120 hours of your time altogether. You can go through the whole course, or you can select through some of the modules, and then it only will take you, let's say, about 80 hours to go through the course. It's jam-packed with engaging content that covers the hottest technologies that are driving the bionic transformation. Here we're talking about the 3D printing, the robotics, the cloud services, the augmented and virtual reality, big data. And of course, because we want to provide the customer the personified and customized design, we're talking about reducing production costs. We also focus on the soft skills needed for the personnel in the company of today, and also about intercultural cooperation in the companies. So it's not only about machines. Now to give you a bit of a background, how does the business understand the concept of bionic world? Now we will look into the concept of what is industrial era and bionic era. Now, in industrial era, many rapid changes have happened. It was in the 18th century when machines developed and the people moved away from manual labor and let machines do the heavy work, do the lifting. Or for example, if you think about sewing the clothes, it was not anymore done the person, but the machine was doing the sewing. Now, and that changed a lot the way the economics worked. That changed a lot the industries like manufacturing, transportation, or farming. Now, in the bionic era, that's the same, but with a twist. Instead of just machines taking over, it's a collaboration between the humans and the machine. Now think about, for example, an aircraft. In the modern aircraft, sometimes the pilot is doing the driving, or he wants to give away the driving to the autopilot, and then the pilot is doing other things like scanning or shooting, or sometimes the vice versa. So sometimes the machine is in control, or sometimes the pilot is in control. Now, what's special about the bionic era is that it's not only about the physical power, it's also about the power of thinking. So we are giving away some cognitive tasks that were traditionally performed by humans. Now they are taken over by machines. For example, you can think of personalized recommendations of Spotify or Apple Music, which is suggesting the content to you. You can think about your personalized assistants like Siri or Alexa. These are the examples how we are working together with machines. And so again, important thing is to know that in the industrial era, it was really more about the monologue. When we were giving away the task to the machine. Now in the bionic era, it's more of a dialogue. Sometimes the pilot is driving, sometimes the machine is driving. So that kind of dynamic interaction we did not have in the industrial era. Now, let me take you through some examples. Tesco Home Plus in Korea. You can see on the screen, the man uses, the Tesco used the wall as an inventory. So this man is just ordering goods that will be delivered to his home while he's waiting for the train. Now, this is the example how companies understand the changing dynamics of consumer behavior and create innovation solutions. If you can look at the screen, you see the outcomes. The online sales increased by 130%. Now, if you talk business, this is an incredible amount of money. And the company, Tesco in this case, was growing without even buying the new assets, without any physical assets, right? Now, another example comes from a company from Belgium, a company from a furniture sector. And this example, by the way, we took directly from the e-learning course. You probably heard about the Van Heuk company that has developed from the dealer of fittings to the producer. What the success story behind? They have captured the behavior of the customers with a so-called Van Heuk online configurator. So they use this web-based communication system so that the consumer can configure what he wants, and based on, you can see on the screen, hoping 43,000 billion different combinations are possible. And then this web-based communication system takes this order directly to the production. And so the company can supply as many as 4 customers every day. Now that's, again, says this overall bionic approach of the company based on the customer behavior and customer centricity. I was showing these examples to you to underline that in the industrial era, we have used majorly 3 types of capital, which is the human capital, the natural capital, land or water, and the financial capital or the money. Now, in the bionic era, 3 more forms of capital come into play. This is the behavior capital, which is capturing the behaviors of people or the customers, the clients. The cognitive capital, which takes this behavior into the set of algorithm. And the network capital. The network capital is a very interesting form, which is leveraging the impact of the capital without even relying on physical asset. Several more examples, also, I think, known to you very well. Let's talk about an Apple Watch, which is measuring an ongoing heart rate, or Tesla, which records data on fuel efficiency, or Google, which captures everything about everyone. Now they are not doing that, collecting all this data just for fun. These data help them make their products and services even better. So Apple uses this data, these heart features, useful to fitness enthusiasts. Tesla uses this performance data to enhance fuel efficiency and overall driving experience. And Google, well, Google uses or taps into that great amount of data to provide personalized experiences. Waze, GPS navigation, it's not only providing you driving directions, it also incorporates data from the users. And if a user will slow down in a traffic jam, that information immediately goes to the Waze model. And so they track the behavior and the system they interact. The same goes with the Uber, for example. It's an interesting case because the Uber is the biggest taxi company in the world. Now they don't own cars, so they don't have the physical asset. Twitter or Facebook, that's an example of how they leverage their network capital. What we mean by that? Imagine, for example, a politician who wants to share his political campaign, let's say on a television, and reaches 15 million views. But when he comes to Twitter or Facebook, he reaches the same 50 million views, but then the persons can engage, or they can stay in the loop, they can comment, they can share, and the more they use the network, the more opportunities there are for interactions, and the more opportunities there are for targeting advertising and for customized content. The same is about insurance company. When you ask a quote for an insurance, there is an algorithm behind that calculates based on where you live, based on what age you are, your background, your credit rating, etc., and they provide you with a quote. Now, how does that all matter to why we are here today? Because, as I said, that completely changes our relations with the machine. So the relationship between human and machine is not a monologue, it's a dialogue. And so it changes the economy, it changes the competitiveness of today's world. And so the companies, if they want to stay ahead, they need to adapt, they need to be agile, and they need to have the personnel with the skills, with the new skills that they have never had before. And that's why we've came out with the e-learning course, providing you with all these 3 major sets of knowledge about the technologies, about soft skills and leadership skills, to provide you with the qualities of a bionic transformation facilitator. Now, we will be going directly into the website and into the learning platform, where you can, by the way, if you go to the website, you can go directly with me if you like. It's gistproject.eu. You have a wealth of documents that you can also download, by the way. And you go to the platform and register. So we go to the website, click on the e-learning platform. First, you would have to register. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You provide your name, your email address, and then you confirm your email address, and then you're set to go. Now, important to mention is that we especially focused to be able to provide excellent e-learning platform in several languages. So it's available in English, in Polish, in Croatian, in Slovenian, in French, and in German, and in English. Okay, 7 languages. You can choose the name of the language at the registration step. Once you're there, there is a video tutorial that is taking you through the course and showing you the structure of the course. All right, now then comes the most interesting part. Let me quickly take you through the topics. As I said, the name of the course is Bionic Transformation Facilitator, and it's structured into several threads depending on where your focus is. if you are with the company, you would probably like to take the courses that are, or the units that are more focused on the technology. And when I say technology, these are, for example, the printing and custom manufacturing. This is all about the magic of 3D printing and how it changed the way you can showcase your furniture today. Imagine being able to offer the customers the personalized 3D printing pieces. And so you can, let your imagination just run free. We are talking about robotics, where we can, look into how robots in the companies making the lives easier. They can automate the tasks, or they can automate the more complex challenges. Then the cloud services. These are transforming the way we store, access, and share information today. Augmented and virtual reality. It's where the digital and real worlds come together. Furniture companies today can offer immersive virtual showrooms, allowing customers to visualize and experience their products in a virtual environment even before they make a purchase. Now, big data. This is the secret weapon for furniture companies, because they can tap into the massive amounts of information and data available, tracking what does the customer wants, what's hot on the market, and how the products are performing. And having this knowledge, the companies can provide great products to customers and to provide the products they like. Of course, then we go to the next big chunk of knowledge about the soft skills, and that's about design thinking, strategic thinking, planning, which are essential for bionic transformation. We are also equipping you with the knowledge to navigate the complex world of organizations and institutions available out there to help you. For example, these are the technology parks, industry associations, which funding programs and financial programs are available, how to search for them, and how to make use of them. And of course, it's not about the theory. We are also including the real world cases of the companies with examples. So you will get to learn what made a difference to the company and why they are becoming a bionic company. And finally, because today companies are incorporating very diverse teams coming from different cultural backgrounds, we also included a special section about the intercultural mediation. All right, I think we can now go directly into the platform. I stop sharing and I go to the exactly to the platform. I'm already registered, so I skip this step. So you basically go to GIST project.com EU, press the e-learning platform, and then you're there. The e-learning platform is called Los Lobos. Now, what we have here? We have a brief course overview. So it's a kind of infographic that takes you through the basic things, for example, the course structure. We've got 4 major threads to go, so 4 major sets of modules. Or it takes us through the methodology, and you immediately know that you have a selection of between videos, infographics, slides, and exercises. Well, let's take a look at the course. You will see here introduction and 18 units, unit by unit. Let's start with the introduction. Okay, I have to log in. All right, introduction. Here the infographics will give us a brief overview of, let's say, the learning units, which are the learning units. And you can immediately see what are the names. Then we go back. The duration of the learning units. For example, if we want to take the whole course, it's 128 hours. And if you want to take, for example, one of the courses, let's, augmented and virtual reality, 6 hours. If you go through the video and the infographics and the script, and it takes you around 6 hours that you can do step by step whenever you have time. You don't have to do it all module by module, you can select. So let's, as I already mentioned, the augmented reality, let's check this module. So it's module number 6. And it starts with a video. Video is designed especially as a short
experience of teachers and students. Thus,
I'm turning off the sound. So it's designed as a short 3 minutes information to you what is augmented reality in the industries, in the economy, and especially in the furniture industry. I'll take a moment now for you to see what that's about. And once you in the video, you can go to the subtitles and change, for example, and here I selected the German subtitles. So you can switch between 7 languages. Now, once you are through with the video, you press next. And here you go, there is a infographics that is taking you through the course also very quickly. So this kind of collection of material reflects the different learning styles. So I, for example, don't like to watch videos so much, but I do like this schematic graphic representation. So when you see the infographics, I know that when we are talking about available software and hardware in the augmented and virtual reality, we will be talking about software, hardware, and here are the names. Software, again, you can see the names. So this is a very condensed reflection of what the course is about, and it also provides additional reading. Now, after the short infographics, you press next, and here you go. You've got all the PDFs, which take you through the concept step by step and in quite a detailed, but also a condensed way. And if you like to check how long is the course, it is, it's 37 pages about augmented and mixed reality. So imagine you have gone through the reading at your own pace. You end up with the final quiz. Here, this is the nice red button, final quiz. Yeah, by the way, we can do the final quiz together. I know from the registration, and I can see from the participants that we have quite a heterogeneous group today, representing universities, students. I didn't see companies, but I saw also research institutions. Let's check how well we are aware about the augmented and mixed reality. Maybe we can take this quiz together. And I will ask Patricia, maybe you can help me to track the chat. Now I will ask the question
Okay.
And please, let's try to do the quiz together. The first question is, augmented, virtual, and mixed reality are not competing technologies. All of them, they have their potential, but they are not competing. Do you agree or do you disagree? Augmented, virtual, mixed reality, are they competing? True or false? Okay, any wild guesses there? Yes or no? Turn on your mic or write in the chats. I go first. I think they are not competing. Then question number 2. Augmented reality systems or experiences may have different levels of immersion. They are not immersive systems, semi-immersive systems, and immersive systems. Yes or no? True or false? I haven't gone through this unit. True. Okay. Right. True. Thank you, Andrei. Next, Unity, which I know is a software, supports, or the hardware. Unity supports the following technologies: VR, AR, and even MR. What's your guess? Bart. True.
Bart. Yes.
Ah, okay. Some augmented reality SDKs are, and here you go with the names. Augmented reality SDKs include Contentful, Headjack. Oh my God, I threw you into silence. But help me, please. True or false?
Again, true.
Again, true. Okay.
Yes.
And finally, regarding hardware in VR, AR, MR, devices that are supporting these technologies include Oculus, Rift, HoloLens 2, HTC Vive Pro. True or false? We haven't got any false yet. Shall we try with the false? Or with the true? Okay, true. Now, we'll take the quiz, we submit, and we are only 60% right. Well, I think we should go through the test again and to show this machine who's the boss. But oh yeah, not now. So you can, go into the system and try it yourselves. So here's look how the e-learning course looks like. I go back to home, and I haven't shown you everything. So you have 18 units, and also important is to mention that if you'd like to have a certificate, then you would have to pass the final test. And the final test is not the true and false questions. This is a different types of questions. And you can see it's not exactly as easy. But the good news is that you can retake the test as many times as you wish until you got it right. At least 70% of correct answers are okay, and then you have the certificate. Now, what else? Yeah, these gamification things. We added these gamification things to make it more enjoyable, engaging, and fun. Yeah, let's see. We can see who is leading, and we can see I don't have any badges, and I have passed 30% of the material. But actually, these gamification things are useful because it's not only about a competition, it's about the building the sense of community. So you find yourself, chatting to the classmates, and so it's kind of a virtual classroom where everyone is together. So with this, I stop sharing and I go back to my presentation to see I've talked a lot, but I still have a few things to mention, and I want to check what it is. Yeah, I've already mentioned that we, to accommodate different learning behaviors, we have the slides or the text that you want to read through at your pace, the infographics, the short videos. These are the kinds of bite-sized micro-learning pills if you prefer to watch the videos, and the quizzes. I've already mentioned the gamification tools. And yes, this online course is live since April. And we have already tested it with a number of students, and the overall rate of satisfaction, more than 80% of students said that it's quite interesting and they believe the material is useful for their future or current job. I've already mentioned to you that you can have a certificate of completion once you pass the final test. All right, and I've talked really a lot, and I think we can make a first stop here and to take maybe some questions about the e-learning course, and then I pass the word to the next speaker, to Maria, because she has in stock even more interesting tools to tell you. For now, are there any questions? Or maybe you would want to share your first impressions of what you've seen.
I have a question. This is Leslie.
Sure.
Actually, two. First, maybe I omitted this information, but this certificate that the student or whoever, you know, who learns will receive at the end, does it give any preferences for the students being in the universities? That's one question. And the second one, you have mentioned approximately 6 hours per certain course. And like if I feel secure that with the part of the information I already got the needed knowledge, can I try to go through the through this knowledge check earlier, or it's necessary to do like all the steps, audio, video, and so on? These are my two questions.
Thank you, Lesia. In terms of the certificate, right now, this is a course which is not in the system, so it's informal. Once the training school sees that the course is useful and can integrate it into their own learnings, we have calculated that the whole course, the whole 128 hours duration, gives you 5 and something points of ECVET. But it's not in the official system. So no, until it's recognized by the training school, it does not give you any official scores or points. Now to the second question. Yes, this calculation is based on the average speed of learning of a learner who will go through the text, which is not in his own language. So for me, English, not a native language. When I read English, it's not as fast as I would read in my own native language. Of course, then you have to go through the additional reading. You can skip that. If you watch the video, you know, in a quicker, the 1 point accelerated speed, of course you are quicker. You don't need to go through the video. You don't need to go through the infographics if you don't like to. Yes, the answer is yes, you can take the course quicker. Thank you. Yes.
I have some additional information for question number 1 from Les. You know, there is a overall system in European Union, and we call the system as a recognition of learning outcomes. And regardless, this system you presented, dear Radmila, we can call as informal system. Any student should learn this material. And finally, any student can ask university, please recognize my skills because I learn this online course, I use it, and therefore it seems to me if you're talking about classical university, there is a adaptive recognition system that will allow any student to be certificate in this way.
Thank you very much, Boris, and for reflecting on your own experiences. All right, I think we will have another Q&A session in the end. And now I'd like to hand over to Maria Giuffrida from Trust IT. Maria Giuffrida will share the insights on how to prepare yourself to go bionic, but in the context of the European Bauhaus. Maria is actively involved in this incredible platform, which is called the GINEP, and that aims to bring together their practices, trainings, and digital solutions for this European Bauhaus transformative movement. The floor is yours.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Radmila and Patricia and Innovawood team for inviting me. Let me just share the screen. 1 second, so you can confirm if you can see it properly.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks. So as Radmila anticipated, I'm here today representing Trust IT, who is the technical coordinator of this project, the GINEP. But of course, the consortium is larger, made of partners who have complementary knowledge and skills. So in our consortium, we have TU Delft University, who is the financial coordinator. We have Industry Common Foundation, we have the European Association of Architects, and we have Innovawood, of course. So we're all together in this journey that's DigiNeb. It's a project that started in October 2022. It's gonna end at the end of 2024. So we are somewhere around month 8 of the project. So we don't have everything finalized and ready yet, but there's many interesting things. And I think we share some larger mission and values also with GIST, although of course we focus on some different aspects and topics. So my aim today is to provide you some information and possibly, let's say, interest you with and encourage you to want to learn more on what we do. So I'm gonna describe DigiNeb first, and then I'm gonna give you some examples of the material that you can find on DigiNeb. So in this slide, we tried to summarize all the main elements of this 24 months project. This is a project funded under the Digital Europe program. So as you can understand, it's very much focused on digital innovation and technology. And we put this at the beginning of our project name. But we want to, let's say, help the spread and the diffusion of digital technologies in a specific environment, that's the NEB, the New European Bauhaus. What is it? It's basically a sort of movement that aims to help create living spaces, so in general, living spaces that are designed and implemented according to some NEB values, which are aesthetics. So these spaces have to be beautiful. They have to be sustainable from, for instance, an environmental point of view, and they have to be accessible. So there are a lot of digital tools and practical solutions, innovative solutions that can be used in the field of NEB to achieve these values, so to improve the living spaces. And our objective as a project is to help the NEB community understand which are these tools. So as you can understand, our audience is very large. So we talk basically to architects, to engineers, to designers, but also to artists and any other player, maybe of cities or smart cities, you know, that can be interested in contributing to the NEB movement on one side, but we also talk to digital companies, so providers of solutions that want to maybe spread their innovations and help NEB players achieve their goals by using, these technological tools. That's the overall mission and the overall objective of the project. So in order to achieve this goal and bridge these two communities of the digital ecosystem and the NEB ecosystem, we have created this platform that's digineb.eu. It's a website. You can go and visit it. And in the center of the slide, you can see the four main elements that I like to call assets that you can find on the platform. The first asset is named the Digital Toolkit. It's a sort of catalog where we list, so it's like a marketplace when you go and see solutions that are provided by other players. So it could be a company, could be a project, could be a single provider that has, I don't know, a software or a guideline or any other type, of tool that can be displayed here. So people can go and see what's the offer. Then we have the observatory, which is a, let's say, research-oriented section of the website where we try to summarize. So it's like a window where we make pop up all the latest news and all the latest events or interesting innovations that are happening in the NEB world that, of course, deal with the digital tools. And so here, Observatory is basically a overall view of the most recent elements that we uploaded in the platform. Then we have the thematic working groups, which are very nice discussion groups that have an online space on the website to interact, but these discussions also happen offline via meetings and via events. So we have domain experts, so for instance, architects, as I was saying before, engineers, construction industry players, that interact with each other very often in transdisciplinary domains to understand what could be the most important digital innovations in their field. And these thematic working groups, of course, are discussion groups that are focused on specific topics, as the name thematic suggests. So at the moment, we have a group on architecture and design, we have a group on construction, a group more on educational content, and another one was focused on community and sustainability. And last but not least, we have our recent addition to the platform, which is an e-learning catalog, where we aim at showcasing, of course, interesting courses that could be useful for NEB players and that they can either directly use in the platform, similarly as the GIST platform that you just saw, or in other cases, we just showcase an external course which is not powered by DigiNeb, but it's offered by someone else, and we give them the link for the people to go and attend the course on the external provider, let's say, website. So these are the main elements that you can find in digineb.eu. Of course, these elements, in order to be interesting and used, need people. And so we have in our inner circle a set of people that help us very much in sharing the DigiNeb and shaping its strategy. So we have an external advisory group, which are experts in the NEB and digital domains who provide a strategic guidance to the project. And we also have the Early Adopters Network. Early Adopter Network is a set of people, anyone basically who can prove to be using a digital tool or a digital solution in a NEB-related context and wants to help us, share the word, share the knowledge that he has gained in his work thanks to the digital innovations. So these are the basic elements. Of course, outside this circle, we have a set of other activities, so synergies, reports, success stories, and roadmaps that we are going to develop, events, and the community, of course, towards all of these things are directed that help us, in a virtuous circle, increase the impact of the overall initiative. Because, of course, in order to make such a system successful, we need the machine on one side, that's the platform that's there, but we also need the fuel, so we need the people and we need the content and the thematic, expertise to make everything more interesting. So that was an overall view of the project. Let me give you some more information on the assets that I mentioned. So the first asset is the digital toolkit. As I was saying before, it's just a catalog where you can go and visit, you can search in the catalog by different filters. So if you are interested in a specific type of solution, or if you are interested in a specific type of stakeholder group, so if you want a solution only for an architect or only for an engineer or whatever, availability. So if it's it's a tool or a course that can be used freely, or if you need to contact maybe a provider to access it. If there is a training package to learn how to use the tool, so you can set the filters, and you can find, at the moment we have around 80 solutions that were provided by companies, by projects that were involved somehow in these domains. So this is in a sort of marketplace type of page, where on one side interesting providers can upload their solutions, on the other side any type of final users can find what's the offer and be informed of it. Then we have the observatory. This is a section that highlights the most interesting news, and an important element of the observatory are the success stories. So you can already also go and browse the selection of success stories that we have found. These are short news pieces where we describe how technical solution or a tool that maybe is also present, but not necessarily, but maybe it's also present in the toolkit, how it was used in a specific project, in a specific company, or in a specific environment, so that we do not only show the tool, but we also show the application of the tool and let's say the result that the tool has brought and the positive impact that's brought. So these are the success stories that I was mentioning. I will give some examples towards the end of the presentations. We have at the moment around 20 success stories uploaded, but we aim at the end of the project to reach hundreds of these stories to help, sharing best practices and supporting the continuous learning and improvement of the NEB sector via digitalization. And last, we have the learning courses. So the learning part is a newer part because it was launched in month 6 of the project at beginning of April. So at the moment we have 11 courses uploaded, and you see here the screenshot. The latest ones that we uploaded are GIST, so you see them there. But as I was saying before, we have both courses developed by other projects, such as in this case, but we also have courses that are, let's say, powered by DigiNeb. One example is a course on cybersecurity, which could be useful, for many people that are active in all domains, actually not only in NEB. So that's why I think it's interesting also to a wider audience. And it's a course similarly to GIST that you can directly attend on our platform. So it means you go there, you follow the course, you pass a test, and then you receive a certificate, similarly as what we saw before. So let me give you a few examples of some success stories that we have collected so far in DigiNeb experience, and I selected 3 examples that I think are more aligned with the GIST interest, because as we saw from the presentations before, some important core values of GIST to let's say support the bionic transformation of companies is, of course, to support the educational aspects and to focus on digital innovation and technologies. And also the other element is, of course, trying to involve companies and SMEs, which are also among the target of DigiNeb. So the 3 examples that I selected are, one is called Mind Spaces. It's a European funded project that aims to create a virtual reality environment that can adapt to the emotional response of the users. So basically, based on how the user react, the environment can change. And that's very interesting because there is a use case focused on workspaces. So it's interesting, you know, for a company that's a workspace to have the possibility to create a more productive, but also more enjoyable and socially active environment if they take into account the possibility of technologies to change, let's say, the environment based on the emotional response of the workers. Of course, these projects are ongoing, so there are only demos and pilots for this, but it's a very innovative type of solutions that could be eventually implemented. Then we have the example of Digital Water City, which is focusing on trying to understand how the urban water management systems can be improved. So basically, how can wastewater be how it can be recovered and used to minimize impact on the cities. They are developing at least 15 tools to help improve the management of the water, urban water systems. And the interesting element of this story is that they have education material as well as part of the project outcomes. And one of these trainings is actually a serious game, which I think it's a very effective type of educational content. So it's a serious game, a sort of role play where the people that attend this course or that play this game can have fun and understand the key principles and how the solutions, digital solutions, can be used to minimize the impact of wastewater in cities. And a similar concept is the one of IS Suscon, the last example, that does a similar thing, but only in the housing and construction industry. So basically, they want to improve the awareness of cities and citizens regarding the sustainability of buildings. And so they want to share best practices on how we can reduce the negative impact on the environment of the buildings by focusing on wise materials management of the materials that are used in construction. And also in this case, there are a lot of training materials that are used to help the people in the sector assume some behaviors and put in practice some advice that can help lower the impact on the environment for the house and for the construction industry in general. So these are only 3 examples of success stories that you can find selected on the DigiNeb. If you want to go and read more, I think all of these are very inspiring, to help the players in the NEB world understand how they can work better and also become more advanced and continuously improve themselves, as the Bionic concept suggests. So this is the overall overview of DigiNeb activity so far. Of course, we have still many months ahead of us because the project is already lasting 1 more year, more than 1 year. And so we need also to enrich our assets. In case you know personally you are interested in getting in touch with us, I have summarized in this slide all the main assets that I have presented. So the catalog to find a digital solution or to propose a digital solution, the observatory where success stories can be submitted, the discussion groups, the training platform, and also the form to become an early adopter in case you know of someone who's very good at these things and maybe has already implemented digital solutions in their NEB-related environment. So all the information is here, and I think the slides will be available for you after the event. So do not hesitate to reach out, and if you have questions now already, I'm happy to answer them, or you can reach out to me and to the rest of the team using our communication channels, so email and social media and the website. I think that's all.
Thank you very much, Maria, for these interesting examples and the impressive information you've already started to collect quite a lot of interesting examples, and you mentioned that you already 20 on the website and even more are coming. So please feel free to come back and check. And maybe someone has a question to Maria or to something that we've been talking about during the last hour. Now the floor is yours. And I would like to come back to you and maybe to ask, yeah, if you have clarification question to me or to Maria, please go ahead. Otherwise, we will also be glad to hear from you. What do you think, to which extent the information you have heard today is useful for you? What do you think about the online courses like this one? I'm sure you're familiar with the other online courses for furniture, for construction industry, and for any other industry that you are working in. So how useful they are? Do you have any experience in taking the course? And yeah, just would be glad to hear back from you. Anything that comes in your mind. While you are still thinking about your input or what you would like to share with us, I'm looking through the information I'd like to share with you, and that's basically it. The one thing I would really need to ask you is to take the small feedback form and to answer the few very simple questions to make the project happy. How did you like the course, and how did you like today's webinar? But please, can I ask you to copy this link to the chat, please? This is a very short questionnaire. We would appreciate very much if you could answer. Meanwhile, yes,
you should. I don't see the form in the chat, and I cannot copy and paste from your slide. So if you can share.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll copy that in the chat right away.
And I want to say also thank you to Maria, because I'm also implementing a project about European house, but for higher education. So we are at the beginning of it, and we are analyzing all the needs of the young students that are designing or designers or architects. So probably I will contact you for some feedback. It will be great also for your experience. It's very good. Yes.
Thanks, Jacqueline. That's very nice to hear. We have many activities planned already, events, webinars. We actually had a webinar yesterday on DigiNet together with Innovawood as well. So yeah, please write to me.
Yeah. I have to thank a lot to Radmila, because it helped me a lot to have different points, a few of maybe different activities that we can implement in our project and provide more open sources training material. So yes, I already followed all the pages, so I will be keep in touch with the project and your messaging.
That's nice to hear. That's already some synergy that is going on. And I'm really glad, because this European Bauhaus, this is an initiative you probably know, I'm sure you know, initiated by Ursula von der Leyen back in September 2021. And it talks about being sustainable, being beautiful, and together. And it's all about the new approaches in architecture, in urban planning, making our cities and our well-being better and more beautiful. Maybe for your information, Innovawood is also engaged as a partner in this initiative through the Wood for Bauhaus Alliance, which is an alliance with the key institutions in the field. And we want to engage in open dialogue and to promote using of wood as a sustainable material. So that's, referring to all the solutions that we've seen together, I think we are on the right way, and we are living in a very interesting era, this bionic era. Many interesting transformations are still ahead. And it's not so easy to take advantage of them because, as I said, technology is only one piece of the puzzle. We need also the skills and innovative thinking. That's why, a lot of courses, a lot of initiatives. The more we know, the more we can take advantage of it. Again, if I can ask every one of you to please fill in the questionnaire, which is in the chat. And with that, I'm wondering if we should be going into the conclusions, or we can take another comment or another question, the rest ones. Meanwhile, I want to thank you very much for being here. I do hope that you found the information useful. As I promised in the beginning, the recording will be available and the presentations will be available as well. And please make sure you go to the GIST project.eu and try out the learning course yourselves. And please also go to DigiNap and also check all the available resources out there. Thank you very much. And we are wishing you a good day. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Radmila. Thank you, Maria.
Thanks, Maria, lots.
And everybody.
And Jacqueline, thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Radmila.
Thanks, Lisa.
Bye.